Well, hello everybody. All right, so y'all, we're gonna be doing a "What did I watch this week" video. Now, I've never done one like this, so just bear with me. And we're gonna start off with a horror film that I watched, and I've watched it for the second time. And that's called The Long Walk. Okay, so this is about a group of teenage boys. I got my notes on my phone right here. And they compete in this contest known as the Long Walk, and they have to maintain a certain walking speed or bad consequences will happen. Okay. Now, Stephen King wrote this in his pen name, Richard Bachman. This is, of course, a long time ago that he wrote this. To me, this feels like Hunger Games before Hunger Games. It's kind of giving I'm sorry, Stand By Me mixed with the Hunger Games. I really enjoyed it. It combines horror, character driven, plot driven story, all that. Now, I'll say this about it, and it is kind of twofold because it's an older story and obviously it's probably been adapted and all that type of stuff for the big screen, but it has this dystopian kind of energy to it where it's almost like you could have changed this up in a way. And I don't want to go into too much for spoiler alerts and all that, right? There were some things about it that was like, oh, if you just changed it this way, it might be more believable, is what I'm getting at. But overall, great. It has a lot of Stephen King Easter eggs in it, I think. Let me know if you agree. Because I saw a few that I was like, this is really cool. So watching it though, the actors were great, the story was great, the I would say the intensity of it, um, and its intensity in a way of like a dread that creeps upon you because it's like, what's going to happen? Blah, 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 that type thing. Now, if you're somebody who likes to walk or hike or whatever, when you start seeing how far they're going, you're just like, oh my God, there's no way. What would you do? Like, how would you do that? Another thing that it reminds me of, in a sense, is that movie Speed, if you remember that. That kind of energy, right? And so saying that, this is the second time I've watched it. I was like, you know what? Let me watch this again because it was really good and it was great, right? So I definitely recommend this. I watched it on streaming. Check it out. Okay, let's go next up. Okay, the next thing. Okay, so Spider-Man: A Brand New Day. Now this is in the movie theaters. This just came out, and so I'm recording this on Saturday, August 1st, and I went to see it last night on the big screen. It was not IMAX. Was it IMAX? It was like, I don't know how you differentiate this, but it's like not the big gigantic IMAX, but like say regular IMAX, right? Either way, super entertaining. I am somebody who, on the Spider-Man movies and Marvel things and the kind of comic book type movies and all that, I don't know the lore of the stories. Okay. I know the basics. I know Spider-Man, the gist of it, but not in recent times of like, okay, well, this and that. Blah, 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 blah. I love the action of it. I love the grand summer blockbuster, Spider-Man saves the world, all that kind of energy. Okay. I love that. And this one did not disappoint. So I tell you all that because I review a Spider-Man type movie from the lens of, I don't know all the lore where people are like, well, wait, 3 years ago he did this and he did that in this character. I didn't know any of that. The characters that they introduced and like say, how each Spider-Man movie has like okay, here's the issue and here's the main protagonist and all that. This one was really to me like cool. I love this narrative that they're doing. This is unique. I like this. Um, of course, the acting was great, and Spider-Man was great. There was comedy in it. The friendships that are made in it. I liked it all. Also, I appreciated in this one how, and I don't know how to say this, but when he's maneuvering through New York and going through that and all the things or whatever, it was, and maybe I'm just like being, old or whatever, it was easier to follow. I don't know how to explain that, but like Transformers, Spider-Man, where there's like this big action and they're flying all over the place. For me, it's hard to be like, okay, wait, where are we at? Okay, we moved over here and this happened. Like, what's going on? This one was like, okay, cool. I could feel myself on it, if that makes sense, like swinging through the city with him or whatever. So, that being said, obviously, if you can get to the theater, go see it. Doesn't even need to be IMAX or whatever. If you can go to the regular theater, see it. It's going to be busy. It's going to be crowded. You've got the Odyssey out right now and Spider-Man, so you already know. Okay. But everybody had fun in the theater. This is like a fun movie to see with a group of people. And I'm talking about just in the theater, people you don't know, but obviously friends too. Because people are dressed up, people are cheering, they're clapping. Like it's just a great movie. I feel like this is what the ninth one or whatever. I'll always go see a Spider-Man movie. I love these kind of films. I think they're great summer blockbusters. And this one was really good. It was a long film. Um, was I aware of it? Yeah, because I'll say this. I had to go to the bathroom at some point. I don't want to leave because I was like, I know I'm gonna miss something because it's so action packed. So yeah, if you're into these kind of films, run see it, enjoy yourself, have fun. Two thumbs up, 10 out of 10. Okay, now other stuff that I've been watching is Arrested Development. This is at home. Okay, now let me read my little notes here for those who don't know it. This is on streaming. So this is about the Bluth family. So Michael Bluth finds himself forced to stay in Orange County and run the family real estate business after his father, George Bluth Sr., is sent to prison for committing white collar crime. He tries to juggle the wants and needs of his spoiled and eccentric family while being a good role model for his teenage son, George Michael. Now that I read from that from like IMDb or whatever it's called. Okay, so Jason Bateman is playing the main character, Michael Bluth, and his mother is Jessica Walter. So I want to resonate with those two people. Okay, so this is shot in what I call like an office style, like that show, The Office, where it's almost like you're peering into someone's life and somebody with a home video camera is recording it, but not a home video camera, but you see what I'm saying? Almost like Seinfeld, where it's a show about nothing, but it's about something. Like there's a plot continually going, and it's usually derived from all of the characters' eccentricities or whatever. So Jessica Walter makes the show. She plays the matriarch. She I mean, she is this person, right? She is so funny in this. She is so on point with her just out of touchness that the characters play. Michael Bluth plays like that. I'm trying to be responsible and save my eccentric, selfish family. He's the voice of reason. He's the voice of logic, and that the way he plays that off of the rest of his family members is comedic genius. Pardon me. It's so amazing. And when him and Jessica are, so him and his mother Lucille, that's their characters' names, are on screen, it's just a great dynamic. There's so many one-liners from the show, y'all. I forget how many seasons there are, and I can't tell you how many times like I'll go through, say, a revival of I want to have something on the background that's funny, but I can be dialed out a little bit and tune into it. You know what I'm saying? This is that show. It is so good. It is so funny. And the predicaments that they find themselves in, honestly, if you follow true crime, it reminds me of the Adelson, that case, the Adelson family. I was always like, I think this is how the Adelsons probably interacted with each other, right? Just this like out of touchness, that's just, it's so funny. And each of the family members in the show is just a very specific character, but each of them giving main character energy. They could each have their own damn show, just about, right? So that part, I absolutely love that, right? It's funny. I highly suggest watching this. I can't remember. I think I've been watching it on Netflix, but it bounces around, right? I mean, there's so many seasons of it. And if you like The Office, if you like things of that nature, you will love this. It's just it's amazing. So highly recommend. Okay, then okay, the last but not least, right? The Idaho 4 documentary. This is on Netflix and it's called The Idaho Murders College Nightmare. Okay. So, a couple of things here. I will record a separate, well, two things. I'll record a separate video for this on this channel to just review it specifically and go into more details. I'm going to do a deep dive on my true crime channel because numerous things have come out around this documentary. But for here in this like overview of what I watched, I'll do a quick little synopsis or whatever. So essentially, this is about the Idaho 4 murders, okay? And this is the murders where Bryan Kohberger broke into a house in Moscow and killed these 4 students. Now their names are Kaylee, Madison, Zana, and Ethan, right? And he, meaning Bryan, would eventually plea out to avoid the death penalty, and he is now in prison. Now, recently he has sent a note in. He's like, "Hey, I was lied to. I want to actually go to trial. I don't care if the death penalty's out there, blah 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 blah." Right? And a former defense expert who worked for his defense team has spoken out on podcast and is like, "Yeah, he totally did it." Right? And here's some evidence that hasn't been released yet. Fascinating. Okay, so there's those two things. So let's talk about it in the context of just casual observer, right? If you don't know this case and you're somebody who'd say you consume documentaries, things of this nature on Netflix, this is like a decent overview of the case. Does it include everything? Absolutely not, right? There's so many documentaries on this case, and this one, and again, I just call it like the Netflix McDonald's double cheeseburger with fries, value meal number 10, pull up, we'll bring it to your car kind of vibes. That's what they serve with a lot of these documentaries. And so it's up to you as a viewer if you want to know more. And if you want to know more, you can go on your own deep dive. And that is either watching other documentaries or going into court documents. These are all very available. They released a lot of this stuff. One of the things with this film that it does, that it lacks, I should say, is number one, it doesn't, like, if you're familiar with the case, this is nothing new. Sure, there's some body cam footage maybe or whatever, but in general, this is kind of like we've seen this. And so it leaves that out, and it also forgets to question a lot of things along the way in the way that you want a deep dive documentary to do. I understand also that you got to draw the line somewhere. You've got time constraints, whatever. One thing that this documentary did well is that it really went and talked to people who loved ones of the victims, family members, friends, siblings, all that stuff, right? And told the story through that. So it was less on Bryan Kohberger. Obviously, it's going to cover him and whatnot because it's part of it, but it was less on him. It was also part investigation, but it was a skim. I mean, please, a skimming of that, right? There is so much out there. There's communities that are pro Bryan. There's obvious communities that are not pro Bryan. There is so much out there on this case that people have just absolutely followed. So for this one, watching it, I was like, it had my attention. I think it's a 3-part series. And I liked hearing and learning more about the victims in this. I like seeing the footage of it and whatnot. Again, for me, they would go over things like, for example, when they tear the house down, they just were kind of like, well, all the students wanted the house gone and this and that. And it's like, I mean, we still don't really have good answers for that because it's like, why did you tear that down? Well, and in the documentary, it says, well, we had all the stuff we needed for a trial from it so it could go. It's just one of these things where you could go down the rabbit hole even deeper. There was evidence that they went over very briefly that you would then left to say, well, what about this? What about that? So this was not the documentary for that. But again, in the realm of introducing people who might not have ever heard about this, oh, I think it would be riveting, right? In that way. If you've gone down the rabbit hole and followed this from day one, you're gonna be like, I mean, you'll probably be like, pissed off a little bit, right? Because it skims so much of the surface. So again, this is like a good, well, two ways. I'm somebody who I'm going to always be like, if there's a documentary that comes out about a case I'm interested in, I'm going to watch it, right? Period. I don't care if everybody's like, there's nothing new there. I want to see it. It just is what it is. So there's that. If you're unfamiliar with it and you like true crime content on Netflix and Hulu, these things, absolutely go watch this because it will give you an overview of this case. And if you're somebody who's just like, you know what, I go down the rabbit hole after that, this great place to start. You do this and then you go do your own research. You can look up the court documents. There's there's channels dedicated to this on YouTube, and you can make the decisions for yourself or whatever. I think that all of the timing with this, because this came out, Bryan did his handwritten motion. The former defense expert came out and spoke out on podcasts with Bryan and all the things, right? So we will see where all this goes. But all this happened at one time, okay? And it's a very tragic case. It's absolutely senseless. And so just be warned for that, right? And those are the main things. Like I said, for the Idaho 4 doc, I'm going to do a deep dive in the true crime channel, and then a standalone video here where I go into a little bit more detail. I haven't done these what did I watch this week videos, but I saw the idea of it and I was like, you know what, that's a good way to cover a lot of stuff. And so, yeah, so there's that. So I haven't done that. I don't know what I'm going to watch today. It's Saturday, but I am getting ready to go onto the sofa and retire and watch something. Okay. If there's anything you want me to review, drop it in the comments and let me know. I mean, I kind of just put up here what I'm watching, right? I tend to go to the movies once a week. I tend to watch streaming every day. And then obviously I watch a lot of true crime. If you're unfamiliar with that, I have true crime channels. Okay. So there's that. Now, oh, I'll say this couple of things. In the trailers for Spider-Man, like, beforehand or whatever, the 45 minutes to an hour you sit trying to get to the movie. Okay, y'all, Jumanji, another one of those is coming out later this year. Then Johnny Depp is playing Uncle Scrooge or Scrooge, whatever it's called. And I can't, what is the name of that movie? The Night Before Christmas. Um, that's gonna come out in November, and it has that Johnny Depp feel to it, that kind of like gothic, black and white vibes, but it's not a black and white film, but that noir is what I'm looking for. That kind of energy. I can't wait. And there was something, oh, this movie called Acme, and I forget what these are called, y'all, but it's like Roger Rabbit, where it's real people and things, but cartoons mixed in. Y'all, the nostalgia from it, all the characters from Acme I mean, for me, I'm 48, that I grew up on, are in this, and the comedy of it, y'all, was so funny. I was like, this is going to be a walk down nostalgia lane. I was laughing out loud at the trailer. Okay. I can't wait for that. So be on the lookout for that. A Jumanji sequel, the Johnny Depp Uncle Scrooge movie, and then Acme. All these are coming out later. So there's that. Anyways, I appreciate y'all. I'll be here for the next video. Probably next Tuesday, I'll do the review of Bryan Kohberger's Idaho 4 thing. Drop what you want me to review down in the comment section, and I'll see you then.